Welcome to Hero Villains. What do you think? Spawn versus Hela. Two entities who have died, been reborn, and now wield the very power of Hell itself. On one side is the Hellspawn of Image Comics, a former CIA operative betrayed and murdered, who made a deal with the demon Malebolgia to return to Earth and now holds the might of a Hell King. Al Simmons, the Spawn. On the other stands the Goddess of Death from Marvel, the firstborn daughter of Loki, who has ruled over Hell and Niflheim for millennia, holding dominion over the life and death of countless souls, and having repeatedly defied even the Allfather Odin. Hela, Goddess of Death. When the Hellspawn faces the Goddess of Death, when necroplasm clashes with the power of Hell, who will ultimately reign as the Sovereign of Darkness? Al Simmons was born an ordinary man, but with an extraordinary talent for combat. He became a CIA operative and later a professional assassin, one of the most dangerous killers on the planet. But the life of an assassin has no room for loyalty. It was his own employer, Jason Wynn, who betrayed him and ordered Al Simmons burned alive on a mission. His power has almost no clear limits, as Spawn's ability to manipulate reality consistently manifests in entirely new ways. Through countless battles, he continuously reveals abilities never seen before, making the boundaries of his power nearly impossible to define. Spawn's fundamental abilities include immortality, superhuman speed, incredible endurance, and near absolute regeneration. He can also increase his body density to extreme levels, similar to the ability DC's Thunder once displayed, making his body incredibly hard and resistant to harm in fierce confrontation. Spawn can fly freely through the air, teleport instantly to any location, and open spatial portals to travel or shift the tide of battle. His living cape and magical chains serve as both dangerous offensive weapons and a flexible defensive layer that can react according to his will. Spawn also commands Hellfire, unleashing destructive energy blasts and manipulating matter on a large scale. He doesn't stop there. He can also translocate objects or targets from one place to another in the blink of an eye, reshape the combat environment to his advantage, and neutralize many of his opponent's tactics through unpredictable means. Spawn embodies many prominent traits of other iconic characters while retaining his own unique identity. He possesses Hellfire and a power source bestowed by Hell, similar to Ghost Rider. His sentient cape acts as a symbiotic entity, reminiscent of Venom. Spawn's healing factor is as fearsome as Deadpool's, as he is nearly impossible to destroy completely, except by being decapitated with a weapon of heavenly power. Moreover, his past service in the CIA and Special Forces grants Spawn exceptional combat experience, weapons proficiency, and tactical acumen, forging a warrior who is comprehensively formidable in both power and skill. At the peak period of his transformation, especially just before his confrontation with Malebolgia, the hellish ruler entity whose role is akin to Marvel's Mephisto, Spawn reached a power level far surpassing most ordinary heroes and villains. This is the phase where he commands nearly perfect control over all his abilities, capable of manipulating reality on a vast scale and overwhelming multiple opponents through sheer will alone. It is for this reason that Spawn in this state is often judged to be on par with the strongest versions of Ghost Rider. Spawn possesses virtually no clear weakness for an opponent to exploit. The only confirmed way to finish him is decapitation, with a weapon imbued with power from heaven. Beyond that limit, Spawn's power is only truly affected when his imagination and creative will are suppressed. This stems from the very nature of Spawn's power, as many of his abilities are shaped by concept and creativity, allowing him to constantly develop entirely new methods of combat. At the peak of his transformation, Spawn is considered capable of standing shoulder to shoulder with the most powerful members of the Justice League and could absolutely rank among the top tier in terms of combat capability. After defeating Malebolgia and becoming the King of Hell, his power continued to grow exponentially, reaching a level where he could directly confront Superman. This is the era where Spawn not only possesses overwhelming physical strength, but also commands powers of cosmic scale. At the absolute pinnacle of his power with the title King of Hell, Spawn is regarded as an entity who has reached a multiversal plus level. He holds absolute dominion over the infinite realm of Hell and controls all laws of operation within his domain. No entity there can resist Spawn's will when he wields his full power. His most notable achievement is defeating the entire army of the Eight Circles of Hell and simultaneously annihilating the combined forces of both Heaven and Hell. Meanwhile, Heaven encompasses Elysium, a realm that extends across all parts of infinite space and time. Conquering realms existing on such a scale demonstrates that the scope of Spawn's power has far surpassed ordinary universal levels. Spawn is often described as being on par with God and Satan, with sufficient capability to confront these two entities in a nearly endless war. These are entities regarded as the origin of vast realms of existence. Satan is the creator of the 12 infinite circles of hell and the Hell Kings, who rule each domain, while God is the architect of heaven and infinite dimensions such as Elysium, which stretches across every timeline. Both are depicted as nearly omniscient and omnipotent beings, possessing power, transcending countless universes, spaces, and times. Spawn's armor is formed from necroplasm, the mysterious substance that constitutes the entire realm of hell. Necroplasm possesses a near-infinite capacity for transformation, able to become any shape, object, or entity that the will can conceive. Every fear, desire, or figment of imagination can become reality through this power. This unique property is what makes necroplasm one of the most potent materials in Spawn's universe, granting the ability to create and manipulate reality at an extremely high level. Necroplasm is not only used as a weapon or armor, but can also shape colossal structures of existence. This means that entities in hell with sufficient capacity to control necroplasm are entirely capable of constructing dimensions or even forming new multiverses from this very power. Thanks to this, Spawn can alter the battlefield environment, creating countless weapons, shields, or massive structures through his will alone. The Hellspawn is a unique entity bearing the nature of both angel and demon within. The fusion of these two opposing power sources has forged a warrior with potential far exceeding most supernatural beings. Upon reaching a perfected state, a sufficiently powerful Hellspawn can defeat Hades, the god who rules Tartarus. In the work's mythological system, Tartarus is the force that acts as a counterweight to Olympus, a realm once under the dominion of Zeus. Olympus is described as a plane of existence with the authority to govern the entire universe and maintain the order of vast layers of reality. The fact that a Hellspawn can triumph over Hades reflects a scale of power surpassing the supreme gods of mythology, simultaneously affirming Spawn as one of the most fearsomely powerful characters capable of affecting entities and realms of existence at a cosmic level and even higher. Now, let's talk about Hela. Born from Loki, the god of chaos, Hela carries within her the blood of deceivers and power. From the moment of her birth, Odin recognized the strength and the danger posed by this granddaughter. The Allfather appointed her the goddess of death, granting her absolute rule over Hel and Niflheim, the kingdom of souls who did not die in glorious battle. It was both a privilege and a prison, binding her power to her very own realm. For millennia, Hela ruled hell with an iron fist. She is not a mindless demon of destruction. She is a cold, fair, and utterly uncompromising ruler who adheres absolutely to the ancient laws of life and death. The souls that come to her are judged and detained, forming a vast army at her command. Her ambition does not end at hell. She constantly yearns to expand her kingdom and has schemed many times to invade Asgard and Valhalla. Hela is one of the most ancient and powerful entities ever to emerge from Asgard. Her age far surpasses that of most existing Asgardians, while the lifespan of an ordinary Asgardian can already extend to around 5,000 years. This immense span of existence has not only granted Hela superior combat experience, but has also allowed her to accumulate a fearsome reservoir of power, enough to become the terror of the 9 realms. It is for this reason that Hela is always regarded as one of the most dangerous adversaries the warriors of Asgard have ever had to face. One of Hela's most impressive feats is single-handedly annihilating the entire Valkyrie army. This is an immensely extraordinary achievement because each Valkyrie is an elite warrior, meticulously selected, possessing combat skills and strength far exceeding those of ordinary Asgardian warriors. Defeating just one Valkyrie would be a monumental challenge for many powerful characters. Even Loki has never demonstrated the ability to do so, yet Hela effortlessly swept aside this entire force, thereby demonstrating the near absolute gap in power between her and the finest warriors of Asgard. Even Thor, after awakening his full true power, could not gain an advantage against Hela. Although the Odinson had unleashed his latent thunderous might and reached his strongest state at that time, he was still completely outmatched by the power of the goddess of death. Hela not only overwhelmed him in physical strength, but also surpassed him in combat ability, speed, durability, and regenerative capacity. capacity. Every one of her attacks carried a deadly energy capable of crushing all resistance, leaving Thor with virtually no opportunity to turn the tide in a direct confrontation. A clear testament to Hela's overwhelming power is the moment she casually crushed Mjolnir with one hand immediately after being freed from thousands of years of imprisonment. This legendary hammer had withstood the Sokovia explosion at extremely close range, a blast of colossal destructive force sufficient to knock out Thor and even crack vibranium, a metal renowned for its near-absolute durability. Hela destroying Mjolnir as easily as crushing a piece of glass demonstrated that her power far exceeds the ordinary standards of Asgard, rendering even Thor's iconic weapon utterly useless. Even Odin, the mightiest king of Asgard, could not destroy Hela permanently. Instead of finishing her, Odin was forced to use ancient magic to seal and imprison her in order to contain this threat. After thousands of years confined in an extremely harsh environment, Hela still survived and retained the majority of her power. In the end, she even outlived Odin himself, a fact that further affirms the extraordinary vitality and fearsome power of the goddess of death. Hela was a key factor in enabling Odin to complete the conquest of the 9 realms during Asgard's peak era of power. With her overwhelming strength and superior combat ability, she became Odin's mightiest weapon. Hela's very existence was also an indirect cause of Asgard's downfall, as the conflicts between her and the royal family ultimately triggered the chain of events that brought this glorious kingdom to its end. She easily cleaved through Scourge's Uru armor, the divine metal famous for its extraordinary durability. Hela even managed to wound and draw blood from Surtur while he was merged with the Eternal Flame, a feat demonstrating that her power is sufficient to harm destructive entities on a mythological level. Hela has repeatedly proven herself superior to Thor in both strength and combat experience. She has also effortlessly overwhelmed Annihilus and defeated Amora the Enchantress, two opponents who possess formidable abilities in their own right. One of Hela's most distinctive traits is that she is virtually unbound by the ordinary limitations of space and time, allowing her to operate and fight on a level beyond the perception of many other entities. Despite possessing immense power, Hela still has one critical weakness. The left half of her body fell into a state of decay long ago, while the other half remains completely intact. Her mystical cloak is the core source of power that maintains her complete form and amplifies all of Hela's abilities. When she dons this cloak, her strength, speed, healing factor, and magic are all enhanced to an astonishing degree. Conversely, should she lose that source of power, Hela would weaken significantly and could no longer maintain her overwhelming stature as before. It is for this reason that the cloak is always regarded as the most crucial factor determining the goddess of death's power. Hela also possesses a mastery of magic that ranks among the highest of all Asgardian gods. Having fought alongside Odin through countless battles during the conquest of the 9 realms, she has accumulated combat experience and a vast repository of arcane knowledge. Unlike many warriors who rely solely on weapons and brute strength, Hela focused on developing her mystical abilities, making magic the primary foundation of her fighting style. She can generate bolts of lightning with enough destructive force to annihilate even immortal beings, and she wields the technique known as the Hand of Glory, a strike capable of finishing an Asgardian warrior with a single punch. Furthermore, Hela possesses a virtually limitless ability for astral projection, allowing her soul to operate independently of her physical body, expanding her operational range and making it far more difficult to destroy the goddess of death completely. As the Asgardian goddess of death, she holds the power of life and death over Asgardians and the gods of Asgard. She is the Queen of Hell. She also has an arrangement, a pact with death itself, a real entity, being, which permits her to claim the souls of Asgardians or their worshippers and bring them to Hell or Niflheim. And now, let's get into the direct comparison and battle analysis. This is a war of kings and goddesses of Hell. Two forces of darkness, two sources of power. In his Hell King state, Spawn holds the advantage in raw strength and diverse destructive capability. His necroplasm is a versatile energy source, allowing him to adapt and attack in countless ways. He can transform his body into weapons, self-heal, and unleash devastating energy attacks. Hela, in contrast, relies on divine Asgardian power and death energy. She may not be as diverse as Spawn in terms of shapeshifting, but her attacks, especially the
the Hand of Glory carry an instant, lethally dangerous finality. Hela's power is intimately tied to Hel. The further she is from her kingdom, the weaker she becomes, though she remains immensely powerful. Conversely, Spawn, especially after becoming the king of Hell, carries his power within his very being. Necroplasm is a part of him. He is not bound to a specific location. If the battle takes place on neutral ground, Spawn will have the advantage because his power does not diminish. If the battle takes place in Hell, Hela would be nearly unbeatable. Counters. Both possess the ability to counter the other. Spawn, as the king of Hell, has dominion over souls. Could he resist or even neutralize Hela's ability to manipulate souls? Very likely. He has challenged and defeated soul-ruling entities within his own hell before. He could create a necroplasm counterfield to protect his soul from the Hand of Glory. Conversely, Hela is an ancient Asgardian sorceress. She could possess immensely powerful sealing or banishment magic. Could she banish Spawn from the battlefield, or seal him into another dimension? However, Spawn has proven the ability to overcome seals and return from oblivion, making this an extraordinarily difficult task. Combat. The battle would be a display of destruction on a godlike level. Spawn would charge in with physical attacks enhanced by necroplasm, his chains and cape transforming into razor-sharp weapons. Hela would retaliate with deadly energy blasts and use the Night Sword to parry. Both are incredibly durable and nearly immortal, turning the fight into a war of attrition. The turning point would come when Hela attempts to use the Hand of Glory to finish Spawn. She would seek to close the distance and touch him, but Spawn, with the combat experience of an assassin and the power of a Hell King, would foresee this. He would let Hela touch him, but instead of having his life force drained, he would use that very moment of connection to counterattack. He would unleash a colossal surge of necroplasm directly into Hela through that touch. Necroplasm, the energy source of a different hell, would violently clash with Hela's divine Asgardian nature, causing a destructive reaction. Hela would be stunned and severely weakened by this foreign and chaotic energy. Spawn would not miss the opportunity. He would use his full power to bind Hela with chains of necroplasm, not to kill her, for that is impossible, but to open a portal and hurl her back into Hell itself, sealing that portal shut with his own Hell King power. This is a battle where Spawn claims victory. Spawn's victory lies in the fact that he would be the one left standing on the battlefield and Hela would be repelled. The reason for this victory is the difference in their fundamental nature. Hela is a goddess of death, bound by her own laws and kingdom. Spawn is the embodiment of rebellion against all law. He is not bound to a specific domain. His power is intrinsic. He transcended every limit Hell imposed on him and became something more than a Hellspawn. Hela would fight with all the power of a goddess, but Spawn would fight with all the fury, suffering, and will of a man who refused to bow to anyone. Spawn defeats Hela by proving that his will, forged in hellfire, is stronger than the destiny of a goddess.
And that is our analysis of the battle between the Hellspawn and the Goddess of Death. Let us know your opinion by commenting down below. Do you side with the rebel Hellspawn or the Goddess of Destiny? If you enjoy these ultimate clashes between dark forces, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future cosmic battles. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next Infernal Showdowns. That's today's video. Thank you very much.